Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be checking out the two new hides at Thameside Nature Reserve, and I'm also going to be going through how I set up my camera when filming wildlife. Here it is, it's quite swanky looking. Not too bad a view either from the hide windows. You can see right down the lake. Well, I was going to show you how to set this up as I did it, but there was a cormorant swimming around when I arrived, so I went to film that, as you can see here. But to quickly run you through my process of what I'll do when I get into a good spot or in a hide, I will come in, I will adjust the legs to get it right height for the hide windows or wherever I'm sitting, try and get as level as I can. I'll then use the leveling ball head to get it completely level, and that means I can pan and do whatever without the camera going off center. I already have my camera set up on 3 presets, one ready to record at 100 frames per second, one ready to record at 25 frames per second, and one at 200 frames per second, depending on what I'm filming. And default, I tend to have it on 100 frames per second in case some action happens. Well, I sat here for a while, and there wasn't much going on the lake, but then some cormorants started turning up, and they were just drifting around. Unfortunately, this hide is basically south facing, so the sun is like almost directly towards me. So I've tried out some ProRes RAW, which might give me a little bit more to play with, and you'll be looking at the footage I filmed with that now, so you can tell me if it's come out all right. But yeah, I had 3 of the cormorants in front of the hide, but then some of them started going on to the concrete bases. I don't know what they're for, but they've been there for ages. Sometimes terns nest on them. I managed to get some nice footage. First of the one that came up, then I got a second one landing on the concrete, and yeah, then all 3 of them sat there. And I got them doing the impression of a pterosaur with their wings out drying, which is nice. Now, in a situation like today, where in the hide I'm actually sheltered from the wind, I'd usually bring a microphone, but I haven't brought my microphone today. But another piece of kit I like to use is my video monitor. So what I'm going to do today is attach it to the camera, which I've got this arm to do. I have a battery pack down here, just a small rig one, and it's got a plug-in HDMI. And that just means that rather than squinting on this little screen off in the viewfinder, I have a nice large monitor with my focus peaking on. I can see what's in focus. The downside of this is, one, it's a bit awkward to carry around, so I do tend to just put it on when I know I'm going to be stationary for a while. And the biggest problem, which is the reason I did bring my microphone as well, is that they act like a sail and you get loads of camera shake even in a light wind, so best used in a sheltered area. I carried on filming the cormorants. This one came in and flew past. It looks like a juvenile from all the white markings, and he's landed on the concrete slab I didn't even realise was there, which is a lot closer to the hide. So I've got some nice footage of him, including some really nice close-ups. He's actually sitting there still now. I'll just show you. So you can see that. I don't know how well this camera's going to focus on the screen, but just so much clearer. It's been really nice to see so many cormorants. Just in case there was any doubt, this is a wildlife and not a fishing YouTube channel. Well, my little juvenile cormorant friend has been joined by a second cormorant who's given a fantastic display of some wing drying. I'm liking this new hide, seems well built, and as an added bonus, there was no conspiracy enthusiast in here shouting at me like the last hide I went into. So it's always a bonus. Well, the cormorants have left, so I'm going to go and check out another, I say new hide, it's actually been there a few months, but I've not actually visited it yet. Just going to have a look. I can't believe my luck this morning. Maybe I haven't seen the most amazing wildlife. Those cormorants are cool. I've seen one other person. Oh no, 2. a jogger ran past as well. It's a Saturday morning. The weather's not amazing, but it's not horrible either. I'm not going to complain having a nature reserve to myself, basically. Quite a nice change from my last day out, as I hinted about earlier. I've just come in to the Harris hide, which is the other new hide. And as soon as I got here, a squadron of mallards turned up. And I took my eye off the camera for a little bit to film a little bit of this. And they started panicking and doing that diving and flying off thing they sometimes do. Not sure if it's related to this dog walker going past or just ducks being ducks. Sometimes they behave weird. So this creek is a tidal creek, and high tide is in a few hours. If I've got my maths right, it should start to fill up here sooner rather than later. So I'm going to hang about for an hour and see what happens. Well, literally a minute after I recorded that last clip, the tidal surge came in, so I timed it just right. Now I was joined by this nice photographer who pointed out that since I've been here, there was a kingfisher sat. It was a long way over the other side. So I've got some kingfisher footage. And while I was filming all this, as the tide was coming in, I did a time lapse, which came out like this. Also managed to film some other birds. So this little egret was hunting. I managed to film it catching a few fish, or shrimps, can't really tell from this distance. Some teal, and some common redshank, which is always nice to see. Well, I was going to make a move, but I've just spent the last 10-20 minutes trying to film these grey mullet, which are a type of fish that are feeding at the surface. It's been absolutely fascinating watching them. Some of them are making such big wakes. I did wonder if there was an otter in there at one point, but no, it's just mullet. I might actually go and have a little walk round to the sluice and see if I can get a closer look. I've come round past the sluice, and this is the only point I can view the creek from, at least the area where the fish are. But the area I want to look at is mostly behind that fence, which is very annoying. But the odd fish is coming out from there, so I'm going to stick it out, despite the fact it's trying to rain on me. The wind was also a problem at this point, so I adjusted the friction on the pan and tilt on my tripod head to maximum to try and eliminate some of the shaking from the wind, which, when combined with filming at 100 frames per second, so it slowed down 4 times, I think worked quite well. While I'm filming these fish, I just noticed a flash of white and a familiar movement of a mammal. And there's this little rabbit. Well, I say little, it looks like an adult. Just sat on the opposite bank. It's lovely to see. I thought I was going to get the perfect mullet shot at one point, as you could see it swimming under the water, but just as it was about to break the surface, it of course wandered behind the fence. So I had to make do with shots like this. They're okay, but I might go back and try and have another go. Well, the mullet seemed to have come back in front of the hide, but the activity's died down quite a lot now. But I did see this nice flock of starlings. They were around earlier. They're posing quite nicely on the wires now. I couldn't resist getting a little bit of footage of them landing in slow motion on the wires. It's actually turning into quite a nice, pleasant afternoon, weather-wise, as well as wildlife.